Donna Dorca watches over the women and children of her village. Here in Melgaço, everyone knows this tiny woman who delivered the children of the village and the children of their children. Donna Dorca travels around this patch of the great Amazonian forest to catch babies, as she says. Here, babies arrive like the rains, like the seasons, like fruit. Here, she catches them as they arrive. Day or night, under a burning sun or driving rain, she's always ready to set off. People come for her all the time. Traveling to the hospital is long and dangerous. Women dread taking this exhausting trip down the river, as they're already very weak. Families rarely have enough money to pay for transportation. Such an expense is a heavy burden. The midwife is the first person the newborn infant sees after emerging from the womb. The child will always affectionately call her old mother. The women in the villages and along the rivers of the Amazon basin would rather trust a midwife they've known forever. She may even have seen some of them being born.
So this is how my first birth went. My mother was in great pain and my father was worried. He went to get the midwife and left me alone with mother. She called me in to help her. When I got to her, the child was being born. I took it. I was nervous. I was afraid I wouldn't know what to do. I had already had a child myself, but I was embarrassed because it was my mother, and I had never seen anyone in labor before. Later, I must have done this a dozen times. I delivered the babies while the fathers went to get the midwife, and by the time she arrived, I had finished the job.
Many communities are scattered along the rivers of the Amazon basin in Brazil. The people living in these remote villages are known as ribeirinhos, those who live on the banks. The midwives who deliver these children into the world also treat the babies and mothers with their cures and their advice. They're like mothers to the ribeirinhos. While Donna Dorca makes her way along the roads, Donna Zenilda travels by water to reach families isolated in the depths of the forest. She's the midwife of the rivers. To soothe a hard or painful stomach, Zenilda will give a massage. She can then palpate the baby at the same time. She makes sure if it's in the right place, guides it to a more comfortable position, and can even tell whether it's a girl or a boy, just by touch. By the second month, she can also confirm a pregnancy. They say she has eyes in her fingertips.
Lembrar de mandar se puxar. Mas fizeste alguma então?
Não, ia fazer minha terceira.
Só para te mamar um pequeno para lá.
Não, de mamei há 15 dias. Assim, quando eu sinto grávida, assim, sinto ela de um lado, assim, do outro lado, assim, uma ponta da outra.
Mas não deu enjoo, não deu.
Muito enjoo, você não pode só falar aquele grande enjoo, na segunda dói a barriga. Dá aquele enjoo e vem pro estômago. Fica já vai pra cabeça.
Porque tá com 2 meses, né? Já tá no caminho
Já
aos 3, né?
Gostei, tem mais.
Que não é, que não tem dinheiro, que não é.
É,
Só que tu tava dando muito de mamar, aí tu tava fraca.
The rivers winding through the heart of the forest form a magical labyrinth, peopled with mythical animals. The midwives know the spells, the taboos, and the rules that govern this mysterious world. They tell stories to pass the time as they wait for babies to arrive.
Aí olha, encantado que eles falam.
There are enchanted animals here that can make a woman
A
pregnant.
mulher tá menstruada, né? Aí ela não tem.
For example, if a woman is having her period,
Aí, às
and
vezes,
if
ela
she
vai
goes in the
pulando na água,
river,
coisa tá menstruada.
or if she steps
Quando não,
over
ela
an
vai num
animal,
lugar pó desse, né? Aí, às vezes,
they
ela
say
pisa,
she can get
passa por cima de
pregnant
um
from
bicho,
one of these
aí o
enchanted
bicho vai
animals.
diz que engravida a mulher. Aí ela vai.
They say that
Quando
when
ela
it's
tem, às
born,
vezes ela tem,
it must be
nasce vivo,
baptized
né?
and then
Aí diz que
thrown in
eles
the water.
batizam. Eles batizam e soltam na água. Mas no Cururu tem
There
lá
are
perto da
enchanted
casa do meu
animals
pai
in the
que mora.
Kururu, near where my
Mas
parents
lá,
live.
sabe o que foi?
2 enchanted
Era
snakes.
duas cobras.
A woman gave
eram
birth to 2
encantadas. A mulher
snakes.
teve, aí batizou, jogou
They were
na água.
baptized and thrown into the
Aí o
river.
nome de um era Norato, da
One
outra
was
eu não
called
sei como é.
Norato and the other, I don't know.
Aí que quando foi
One
um dia,
day,
diz que aí
Norato
esse
swam out
Norato
of the
saiu,
water to
tinha
go to
uma
a
festa
festival.
lá. Aí e saiu pra terra, se virou
Once on the
rapaz,
ground, he was
encantado.
transformed into a
Aí se
young
namorou
man.
com uma moça. Aí que quando foi assim pelas 5 horas da manhã,
He spent the
né,
night
que
with
ia
a
clarear o
girl.
dia,
Around
aí
5 in the morning, when
viu
the
ver
sun
que
was
ele era
coming
uma
up, he
cobra.
realized he had to
Aí
leave
já
or
deixou
he
ela
would be
capada
discovered.
dentro de uma casa de comércio, assim, né, num quartinho. Aí que quando ele foi se despedir
The
dela,
girl next to him
aí ela
said,
disse assim, Dona vai,
"Don't go.
poxa, que eu gostei tanto
I
de
loved you
você,
well,
você
and
já
now
vai
you
antes
leave
de
before
clarear o dia."
sunrise."
Disse, não, eu não posso clarear o dia.
He told her, "I
Aí ele
can't
entrou
be
pra lá e
here
se
when the
trancou.
sun comes up."
E ela colocou
He
o nome
locked
dela
himself in the
no
room where he
pratinho
had hidden his
da
snakeskin.
porta da casa,
The
né,
girl
veio
watched
olhar.
him through the
E quando ela
keyhole.
foi olhar, na hora que ele tava entrando na capa
She
da
saw him
cobra, ela
climb into
gritou.
his snakeskin and she yelled,
Ela disse, ai,
"Help me,
ela
I spent the night with
tava
a serpent."
namorando com uma cobra.
Norato
Aí
realized he had been discovered. With a huge swipe of his tail, he sent the entire village to the bottom of the river.
Tipo uma cidade lá, né? Ele levou tudinho pro fundo. Com
Even the
música,
musicians at the festival, he took them all to the bottom.
levou tudo pro fundo.
Dona Hilda has delivered babies along the paths and rivers of the entire region. Today, weary with age, she stays near her family. But her memory remains boundless, and many people still come to her for advice.
Ai, meu Deus.
My goodness, I've seen so many things in my life.
Pouco tempo de parto que eu fiz.
I've been delivering babies for more than 30 years.
Olha, eu tô com
I'm 84 now.
84.
Yes,
parece.
84, that must be it.
84.
No one ever taught Dona Hilda how to be a midwife. She says it's a gift from God.
I was so frightened at first. Do you think that when I was giving birth myself, I was watching what the midwife was doing? I had my eyes closed like this. I had my hands like this. A midwife once asked me, "Why are you closing your eyes? If you do, you'll keep the baby from being born." I was frightened, but after that I had daughters, and then they started to have children. When they said, "Mama, help me," I didn't have any choice but to help them.
Pela nova aliança que foi feita na cruz, pela fé e esperança, pela vida eterna. Obrigado, obrigado, Jesus. Obrigado, Jesus.
For young girls in this region, dolls are rapidly replaced by real babies. The first child arrives when they're still very young. In time, the births come one after another, placing a great burden on the entire family. Donna Dorca has prepared a decoction made from citronella and cupu leaves. She knows the medicinal powers of the forest plants. Her daughter-in-law, Nazare, has had contractions for several days, but labor is taking a long time to begin. This bath will calm Nazare. Donna Dorca tries to comfort women who are often anxious and suffering. Each contraction speaks to Donna Dorca. If the bath does not soothe the future mother's pain, she will give birth soon.
O quê? Minha roupa. Vê a roupa pra ela. Tá dentro da bacia dela.
Andrea, Donna Dorca's adopted daughter, already knows she wants to become a midwife. She's observant and accompanies her mother on her visits. She greatly admires this woman who plays such an important role in her village.
Então, vem cá agora. Reda bem aqui.
Come here. Closer.
Aí, passa a tua mãozinha.
Put your little hand here.
Assim. Vai descendo.
With the little experience you have, tell me, what is this? Here, this hard part. Is it the head or the bottom?
Fala, meu filho.
Answer me, child.
Ah, é? Tá bom. Tu diz que é a cabeça
You
mesmo.
say it's the head. And where is the bottom? Show me.
Pois é, então o bebê
That's
dela tá
right.
encaixado.
Her baby has dropped. It's ready to be born.
Tá pra nascer esse bebê.
It won't go back up. That's definitely its bottom.
Justamente
His legs
o
are
bumbum
here.
dele que tá
He's lying on his side.
As pernas tá pra cá. Esse é o lado
I want to
dele, tá
start
de lado.
working with Andrea.
by watching our friends and family give birth. She'll learn this way, and the day when I can no longer do this, she'll take my place. If she's strong enough. Are you strong enough? I would like to have transmitted this knowledge to my daughters, but they were not strong enough. I hope the one I've raised will be.
Oi? Ó, dona, chegou a hora da mulher ter o bebê, sabe?
Mas se você puder levar a sacola, porque eu
Levo, sim, senhora.
tô doente, né? E não posso estar carregando.
Tá bom.
Bora. Bora, tá muito aperreada a dor, né?
Tá.
Tá.
The household is getting ready. Donna Dorca arrives to catch the newborn baby.
Força, minha filha. Força, minha filha. Não leva direitinho. Gira, minha filha. Força, filha. Força, força. Força, criança. Pelo amor de Deus. Gira, força, força. Força mesmo, não espera. Força, criança. Força.
The midwife holds the lives of the mother and child in her hands. Her job is to get them through safe and sound, regardless of the storm surrounding a baby's arrival into the world.
Aí tu me procura pano para forrar a rede dela.
Donna Dorca ritually closes the body of the young mother.
Dá não. A parteira, do momento que ela
When a midwife agrees to accompany a woman through childbirth, she becomes responsible for 2 lives, or sometimes 3, since you don't know if the mother is carrying 1 child or 2. Sometimes she knows and doesn't dare tell the mother so as not to frighten her. She's responsible for the lives of the children and their mother. This is when you make promises, you pray, you do everything you can to save their lives.
Donna Dorca carefully buries the placenta in the garden of the home. According to popular belief, if an animal were to eat the placenta, the lives of the mother and child would be in danger. Here they say that a pregnant woman has 1 foot in the grave. After giving birth, a mother's health is frail. The midwife takes care of her for 3 days. With Andrea's help, Donna Dorca takes over running the household. The midwives sometimes receive a small sum of money for their work, depending on the family's finances. But most often they're happy to receive a chicken or the promise of something they may need in the future. But what's most important to Donna Dorca is that she's helped bring a child into the world, and she's comforted a woman in distress. This is why she's a midwife.
Agora não dormiu só não. Estou aí. Sinto minha a Deus suplica e não recebes, confiando ficas em tuas promessas que são muito ricas e infalíveis para te valer, porque te abate a minha alma e te comove, perdendo a calma. Não tenhas medo, em Deus espera, porque bem cedo Jesus virá. Ele intercede por ti, minha alma, espera nele com fé e calma. Jesus de tudo, teu
Maria Silva lives near Donna Dorca. Sometimes Seu Bena, Donna Dorca's husband, makes fun of the friendship between these two women, who have always helped each other out. Who did you marry, he jokes, Maria Silva or me? They're thoughtful and watch out for each other.
It was painful yesterday. No, higher up. It hurt all the time, and now it hurts there where your hand is. Yesterday I couldn't even sit down. It hurt all day long.
You have a tear here. It's the work. You carry too much weight. It's harder here than there.
It's drawing all that water from the well. But I don't really do any hard work anymore, except to help the women in childbirth. I hold them in my arms while they're pushing.
But you can hurt yourself.
Yes, but it does them good to feel supported. It comforts them.
When a person refuses to help a woman giving birth, she also refuses to commit herself to God, because it's God who made us and who brought us into the world. But I'm going to stop now. I can't do it any longer. It's not because I refuse to help God, but because I no longer have the eyes for it. If I could see well, if God would give me back my eyesight, if He would brighten my eyes to be able to observe a child well, I still have my two hands to know how it's doing in the mother's womb. I can tell by feeling it. But when it's born, I can't see it.
Not everyone can become a midwife. Some are not strong enough to go through the turmoil of a difficult birth. You have to be strong to bear the pain and cries of a mother in danger and know how to help a mother deliver a stillborn child. When death strikes, you have to cope with it.
I have already encountered many difficult births. and I've also seen some that were complicated by the misfortune of the imbiara. A pregnant woman who eats an animal killed in the forest by someone who has cast a spell on it can cause the imbiara. When a hunter has a hard time catching game, he sometimes casts a spell, either on his dog or his gun, before going off to hunt. After he kills his prey, he takes it back home. A pregnant woman should not eat this meat, or she could start bleeding and lose her baby. That is the imbiara. It's happened here before. 3 of them came. There was Ruby, Jaco's beautiful daughter, whose baby was due in November. I wasn't her midwife. It was sometime in October. One evening, they were worried and they came to see me. I asked the mother-in-law, "Rosa, did Ruby eat any game?" She answered, "For dinner, Ruby just ate an animal that was hunted somewhere up above. She's already lost a lot of blood." Ruby's story worried me. I said to myself, I can't give her any of my remedies because she's carrying a baby in her womb. It will stop the bleeding, but it could complicate things for the baby. Yet, the mother's life comes first. I told Ruby, "If you trust God as I do, I will pray for you." Then I placed my hand on her head, and I started to pray. After, I felt her stomach. That's when I could tell the baby was going to die. She must have felt something because they left for the nearest hospital, and I stayed behind. I lay down in my hammock, and just as I was about to fall asleep, I saw a hand place something on me. It looked like the body of a baby, cold. I got scared and called Santa, Ruby's daughter. I said, "Santa, I felt something placed on me. It was Ruby's baby." After that, I couldn't get back to sleep. At dawn, I had a coffee and went to do Ruby's laundry. I hadn't picked up her laundry the previous day. A woman who was with her had done it. When I saw what was in it, I told myself I was right. I told Santa, "Look at that. Let God keep her alive until she gets to the hospital, because she's lucky she already expelled what's there." Santa didn't understand and told me, "Her baby's going to make it." I told her, "No, the baby is already dead."
Donna Zenilda makes her rounds going from house to house. She's the link between all the families scattered along the banks of the river. She brings them news and gives advice. When it's not for a birth or a massage, she stops by to see her children, as she calls them.
Esse aí era uma injeção, né? Pai já puxou.
Ele já passou ali na barinha?
It's not only pregnant women who need Donna Zenilda. People often ask her for cures for all sorts of pain.
Tudinho isso aqui dói.
A massage with garlic and andiroba oil eases muscle pain. For Zenilda, the forest is a rich source of medicine. She finds all she needs there to treat everyone's problems.
It only hurts here?
Mais frio que eu só vou ficar com o bebê, não? Não mexe no bebê? Mexo. Sai na
Dona Dorca is delighted. She's a grandmother once again. The bath confirmed the imminent arrival of the baby. During the night, Nazare gave birth to Flavio, her 5th child. Helping one another comes naturally in the Amazon basin. If necessary, a child may be raised by one family or perhaps another. Among the Ribeirinhos, a child always has a home, no matter what happens. And if an elderly person ends up alone, a child will help out with the most difficult day-to-day tasks. The mother is still weak after giving birth, and she should not eat certain foods like game or bottom fish, for example. Traditionally, the new mother eats chicken dishes. Dona Dorca usually gives the baby its first bath in the afternoon after its birth. The warmest hours of the day are best for this.
His eye is bothering him. You have to put some of your milk in his eye. Good. Now you're going to your hammock to breastfeed, and you'll sleep a little bit. Understand? Come now, stop crying. You already cried this morning. You cried during your bath. Ooh. You're sneezing already?
Flavio, who has only just emerged from the darkness of his mother's womb, will stay in this room for 3 days. The partitions filter the light from outside. The child is still weak and has to get used to his new life gradually.
One night, Mary Magdalene appeared in a dream and told me, "I will always be at your side. I will never let you down." When somebody calls me for a delivery, I say, "Mary Magdalene, they're calling me. You take care of me. Let's see if you do as you promised." I believe in what you came to tell me that night. I still dream, still. And when someone is on their way to get me, you can be sure I will dream of Mary Magdalene that night. She warns me, saying, "Someone's on his way." I have this dream inside me. I don't know what it can be. I don't know if it's a gift from God. I don't know.
The ribeirinhos depend on the forest for their survival. Even though they cultivate small plots of land, hunting and gathering are still their main sources of food. Every day, Dona Zenilda and her eldest daughter go out to gather açaí. These small black fruit are the staple food of the river people.
Hey, little monkey, come on down. Come down.
Desce.
Ai, pega.
Vamos colocar isso aí. Ele já tá igual eu, que vai igual uma preguiça, no chão andando devagarinho.
Ela caiu. Mais
Every night, Zenilda spends hours preparing the açaí. Before they can be eaten, she must remove the thin layer of flesh around the pits by mashing them together. Soothed by this sound, the children escape from their everyday lives. Absorbed in their books, they discover images of a Brazil that is far different from the land they know. Nothing is permanent along the river. Food goes bad quickly in the heat and humidity of the Amazon. Food from yesterday is no longer good tomorrow. Everything has to be prepared fresh every day. In the Amazon basin, the river dolphins, known as botos, are considered dangerous. They're said to be violent and have magical powers. They appear in countless legends.
Quem mora no interior diz que o boto malvado é no ato que o bicho mais gosta de se aproximar das mulheres.
People here say that the river dolphin, the boto, goes to see women who have just given birth because they know the women are tired. That's what happened to my sister-in-law. One morning around 6, a dolphin swam out of the water, then came into her house while she was still sleeping. If I hadn't been there, it would have climbed into the hammock with her. In her mind, it was a perfect man, but I knew it was a boto. I picked up a stick and hit it. It fell in the water. The next day, its body was floating in the river. It was dead. They say the boto steals a woman's shadow, and that the woman goes crazy and ends up jumping in the water, and the dolphin takes her with him. That's how it is. My sister-in-law said that in her mind, it was a man. I hit it again. She yelled at me to stop, that it was a man. Come on, a man. What I saw was a river dolphin, a boto.
A baby is about to be born. Dona Dorca goes to the home of the young mother and her family to stay with them as they wait.
Todo mundo dormindo. Agora nós vamos comer galinha com almoço.
E a diferença é cara a santidade. Cristoteca, ousadia católica.
The midwife waits patiently for the contractions to start. They guide her throughout the entire delivery. The woman draws strength to deliver her baby from the midwife. Dona Dorca often talks about this pain, which is so quickly forgotten by the mother when she holds her newborn baby in her arms.
Vai ter cadeão que eu não vou poder sustentar aqui. Eu vou poder te ajudar embaixo, tá? Enquanto eu puder. Agora deixa eu vir aqui. Muito pouca, né, moça? É muito pouco. Puxa. Já aguenta a outra para ajudar logo. Deixar tomar mais um descanso. Agora é cochilo ali mesmo. Custou uma doença agora, não faz puxo. Essa dor custou agora uma da outra. Dá força para ela, Jesus. Nos ajuda, deixa eu ver. Jesus, dá vitória para você. Para que na tua Senhor da Deus que nos deixa. Só por Jesus, para que Jesus.
Dona Dorca tells mothers to keep the baby's umbilical cord and dry it. If the infant gets sick, they make an infusion with the dry cord and prepare a cure.
Menor 1 quilo de que a outra.
Ele tá doidinho. Dá o peito pra ele. Não tem nada. Mas ele chupa ele, né? Não vai enganar ele. Anda, cuida logo de dar o peito.
The people of the Amazon live by the rhythm of nature, reminding us of our own fragility. Here, more than elsewhere, everything is ephemeral. But the seeds of dawn are already present in the sunset. The lives of the ribeirinhos depend on this delicate balance, much like the forest that surrounds them.
I've forgotten how many, but I must have caught more than 300 babies. There are some I don't remember catching. They come to see me, they tell me, "Bless me, old mother." And I ask them, "But who are you?" "I'm the son of so-and-so." It always surprises me.
Deus abençoe, dê uma boa sorte. Deus abençoe. Deus lhe faça uma boa filha. Deus abençoe.
Porque te bate